Yet when I became a believer and walked into a church, no one ever knew about the stuff that I was talking about. We were studying the book of Acts every single month and never got to these things that's in the Bible regarding these prophetic things. God will arise to judge the nations, and then he mentions them one by one. They have said, "Come and let us cut them off from becoming a nation, that the name of Israel be remembered no more. For they form a confederacy against you, the tents of Edom and the Ishmaelites." Who are these people? Muslim. And I began to read, Assyria came to their aid, do to them as you did to Zeb and Zalmunna. Who is Zeb and Zalmunna? Zebah and Zalmunna, verse 11. I hope you brought your Bibles with you. The American mindset would look at Zebah and Zalmunna, would skip. We don't know who that is, and they keep going on. In other words, what will happen to these people is exactly what happened to Zebah and Zalmunna. And what happened to Zebah and Zalmunna? It's in the book of Judges, chapter 8. I believe verse 26. With the story of Gideon. You've heard of the story of Gideon? Now, who is Gideon? How much of the Bible is prophetic? All of it. All of it. Come on, Waleed. All the Bible is prophetic? Yes. Okay, I can give you a verse that is not prophetic. Let's see. Blessed are you when they persecute you. Jesus given a sermon. How is that prophetic? Sure is. Because he was leaving, and the sheep are going to become shish kebabs. So he told them, blessed are you when they persecute you. He's leaving. What's going to happen to the believers down there? They're going to get persecuted. That was very prophetic. Joseph, the suffering Messiah. David, the king Messiah. Gideon, the brave one. The warring Messiah, the conquering Messiah. You want to know what the Messiah does when he comes back again? Study the book of Gideon. All these things about Gideon, Judges. Study Gideon, and you know everything about Gideon. You know what the Messiah is going to do. What he's going to do in verse 21. So Zebah and Zalmunna said, rise yourself and kill us, for as a man is, so is his strength. So Gideon arose and killed Zebah and Zalmunna, and took the crescent ornaments that were on their camels' necks. So in other words, when the Messiah comes, he will remove the crescent moon from all over the land on the high places. The crescent moon is on all the minarets, all throughout the Middle East. It must be the highest position in every single village or city is the crescent moon. In 45 of Isaiah chapter 23, the second half, that to me every knee shall bow, every tongue shall take an oath. There it is. Every knee will bow, every tongue shall take an oath. All right? He shall say, surely the Lord have righteousness and strength. To him men shall come. Oh, the Lord is here, and the whole world is flocking to worship the Lord. Who bows to him? Every knee will bow? Not just human beings will bow. Look at 46, the first verse. Bel bows, Nebo stoops. Arthur Jeffrey, one of the greatest historians in Islam, says that the worship of Allah is the same as worship of Bel, the moon god. Allah is another form of the worship of Bel. Before the advent of Islam, they worshiped the moon god. Bel is the moon god. And it says, Bel bows. The moon god will bow, the crescent moon. Nebo stoops. Their idols were on the beasts and on the cattle. Remember, I was sharing with you, Judges. It was on the camels' necks, the crescent moon that was plucked away. That also will bow. And it goes on to talk about this amazing prophetic stuff. It will really literally take me, say, 8 hours a day for a month to go over the things that I've discovered. But I only have 2 hours. How can I share all these things in 2 hours. Unfortunately, in America, everything is fast food. Quickly. Get this guy out of the stage, there's another guy who's coming after. I began to understand, even from understanding the Bible, about the concept of who Satan is. The Quran, we memorize big portions of the Quran as Muslims. What is the definition of our God in Islam? How does it differ from the definition of God in the Bible? It goes further than my Antichrist was your Christ and your Antichrist was my Christ. The 99 names of Allah in the Quran. Allah has 99 names. Some of the names of Allah in the Quran will be shocking to a Christian. One of the names of Allah in the Quran is Al-Mutakabbir, which means the most proud one. Antennas are going, they're going up a little further. I can see them. Invisible antennas. The other name is Ad-Dar, the one who causes affliction, or the afflictor. Who's the one who causes affliction? Al-Mumit, the one who causes death. I said them in Arabic, so this way they're recorded. You can go and interpret it and make sure that I ain't lying or making things up. Another name for Allah is Al-Makir, the great deceiver. وَيَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They plot, and Allah plotteth, and Allah is the greatest of all plotters. So, all these things they accuse Americans of conspiracy theories, and the Zionists of conspiracies, the international Zionist conspiracies this and conspiracies that, when the only one who's conspiring is the Muslim fundamentalists themselves. The funerals become weddings in which the martyr now is bewed to virgins. Everything is in reverse. Death becomes life, life becomes death, Satan becomes God, and God becomes Satan, and they don't even know what in the world they're dealing with. If I can teach Americans of how clever Satan is, and I can plant the filter necessary in the youth mind of a Christian youth, he will go to university all his life. He will know as soon as he sees stuff where it came from. Antennas will be nice and fresh and good, and be able to, like a radar, pick up the stuff. Because I came out of that stuff. I feel many times like Captain Spock. I gotta tell Captain Kirk how the aliens are thinking. The Quran says about Allah, Allahu nuru samawati wal ard, mathali nurihi kamisbah, al-misbahu fi zujaja, az-zujajatu ka'annaha kawkabun durri. Let me translate that for you, my American friends. Allah is the light of the earth and the heavens. He's a light being. Mathali nurihi kamisbah. The likeness of his brightness and his light is as a torch or as a lamp. Now, and it goes on to say, al-misbahu fi zujaja, it is in a glass thing, and then az-zujajatu ka'annaha kawkabun durri. That light being is like a floating star. Okay? So it's light being, and it's like a star. And I don't know, it seems that the antennas are stalled here, but I need to kind of raise them up a little further. In Revelation chapter 8, verse 10. Remember what I said? He's as a torch, as a light. In verse 10, then the third angel sounded, and a great star fell from heaven, burning like a torch. And it fell on the third of the rivers, and on the springs of water. The name of it was Wormwood. And then chapter 9, I saw a star fallen from heaven to the earth. To him You see, the star is not a star literally, it's an allegory. To him, the star was given the key to the bottomless pit. And what is it? This angel of death is released. In the Hebrew, his name is Abaddon. In the Greek is Apollyon, which means destruction, right? What does terrorism mean, after all? Destruction. How do you fight terrorism? Terrorism equals fear.